when you talk about England, some people are kind of trying to normalize scoring 6 goals in a World Cup game, and that definitely is not the case. So I think it's a very, very positive performance. It's a great start, and for some of the people who thought, Gareth Southgate would go for a 5 at the back, he'd be really defensive, well, it appears that that's not the case this time. He went out there, wanted to win the game, won the game well, and obviously the 2 goals being conceded do matter, but you'll take it when your team scores 6, and there's reason to be cheerful if you're of an England persuasion.
Well, when you think of reasons to be cheerful, you think Craig Burley.
Well, what do you want me to say?
Well, I don't know. What is your take on this?
You're expecting me to go down the route of, well, Iran were just garbage.
I'm not.
And what I would say is England made them look bad. Iran, if you look at the historical results in World Cup, they've not won many games, but they've actually made it difficult for a lot of teams. A lot of good, particularly European teams, like Portugal, I think, and Germany. And they've been hard to beat. They certainly were not that today. And I think the added edge for me, and one of the things that I'm hearing from my Iranian contact, was that, well, it was a bit of a strange team, left one of the key playmakers out, the midfielders, and the other thing was that the players didn't want Carlos Queiroz back. Right. That's the things that are kind of coming out, and it looked a little bit that way in their performance. But from an England perspective, it's not the only reason they played well, but I think the fact that Calvin Phillips has had this injury problem at City, and he normally plays in there alongside Rice, and it's 2 solid guys sitting. I think the fact that Bellingham was in there, OK, they're going to play stronger teams than Iran, I understand. But the fact that Bellingham's in there and he's making runs, he's doing the job of an old midfielder. He's not saying, I'm an attacking midfielder, I'm a defensive midfielder. He's a dynamic midfielder. And I think that just gives England a little bit extra to go and support that front 4.
We knew he was good, but then to put in this sort of performance, obviously the opening goal a bit special as well. What do you like about him, Frank?
Everything. His commitment to the team, he does what he has to do, and he does extra. That's where you appreciate a player. That there is a function, and you have the extra function, and he does that, and he pleased me a lot during that game, because I saw everything I want to see from a midfield player. And but I like England overall, because the way they started the game, with the pace that they wanted to give to the game, willing to go forward against a good Iran team the first 10-15 minutes, well organized and everything. I thought it would be more difficult than that. They scored that goal, and then Iran trying to react, and it was open door, and it'd been smashed back. And as I said before, England finished the game, and there were no game half time, and everybody did the job. Even the substitute when they came on, Wilson has a chance to score a goal. He plays his first game in a World Cup and give an assist to a Grealish. And that's the spirit we want to see. That's the spirit I've never seen with England. I have to say that I always had issues with England spirit, because clubs were more important than the national team. And I really feel that this year, I don't know, there is something happening. Because of that game, maybe it has to be confirmed against the United States.
Yes. But
everything are all green lights right now.
One of the things with Bellingham is that, for me, a lot of facets of his game are good, but they're very noticeable. The one thing I really like about him, particularly for a young player, kind of like Lampard in his heyday, and in some sense Dele Alli a little bit, before he fell off a cliff, was that Bellingham's ability to time his run into the box was epitomised by his first goal. He didn't get in there too early. And I think that's a skill set that a lot of people don't talk about. People just run in the box. No. Finding the space, where the centre-halves are, where the striker's making the run, timing your run. And I think Bellingham, certainly in England, is as good as anybody at the moment at making those runs, finding that space. The question will be, when England get to the knockouts, and they will, and the opponents are a lot stronger, be it an elite nation, will he go back, Gareth Southgate, to the 2?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry, but I jump on what he said. It's because Kane makes those runs, without the ball, that allows Jude Bellingham to go into it. If Jude Bellingham plays in a team where all 3 don't move and they are stuck, he's not going to offer that.
And there's no second striker.
Yes.
So there's a point when, if the guys are wide providing, you need that extra man to come in the box. And if he's not doing it because of a conservative approach where you have 2 holding midfielders, then you're asking either Sterling, who's either providing, or Saka to come all the way inside. Well, at the far post maybe, but where are you getting that second runner in the box? And when you have somebody that's willing to do that, you mentioned Frank. Nobody was better than Frank for a period of time. I
was waiting on that list: Frank Lampard, Dele Alli, and a young Craig Burley. Well, I thought that was what was going to.
I was going to throw in a David Platt, which
that would be sensible.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.